Yes.
Hi everyone, hello from Gabriel and John. We just finished our stint in Miami at the Bitcoin conference, and yesterday afternoon we did an event at the farm in the Haitian district of Miami. Now we're off to beautiful Boston for an event Wednesday at 11 a.m. at Park Street Station and 3 p.m. at the Boston Community Church, where Julian will be awarded the Sacco and Vanzetti Award for social justice, contributions to social justice. Last year it was given to Daniel Ellsberg. So see you there, and thank you very much.
See you soon, Boston.
We're here at Park Street Station doing one of our regular Julian Assange rallies, but what's special today is we have John and Gabriel Shipton with us.
I think it's huge because you know what the media has done to Julian. They've either smeared him or they've just been silent, and silence is worse than smearing in some ways because it's not in the people's conscience.
Really encourage people to make that call to Merrick Garland's office and tell him that they need to step up to the plate and stop this criminal persecution of a hero of press freedom and a hero of democracy.
For those of us who dedicate our lives to saving Julians, we could not have a greater honor than to welcome Julian's father, John Shipton, and Julian's brother, Gabriel Shipton.
People ask me all the time, Randy, why are you so obsessed with Julian Assange? You've done 120 shows. Would you stop it? There are so many political prisoners in this country. And I said, that's the reason why I'm so obsessed.
A society that prohibits the capacity to speak in truth extinguishes the capacity to live in justice. All of us who know and admire Julian decry his prolonged suffering and the suffering of his family.
If Julian Assange is in prison for publishing that video, well, I should be in prison too, because we showed that video on every single night of my wall tour from 2010 to 2013.
It demands justice be done and justice be served. Thank you very much. Here we are in Philadelphia, standing in front of the building where the Declaration of Independence was made and subsequently the Constitution of the United States was written. In particular, our concern today was the First Amendment.
We have the cases of political prisoners. We have individuals who take a stance against the state, a strong state, because of what is right. And when the state is doing something wrong, that they speak out against it, they expose it.
What Julian did was the correct thing to do, especially as Americans. We should know what our government is doing in our name.
Julian Assange!
Julian Assange!
Here on Father's Day, speaking to his father about his son being in jail. There's just so many reasons to be for his immediate release.
The situation is dire. Why we're here really is because if Julian doesn't get out, he will die.
Julian Assange is now
now been almost 3 years in a harsh Belmarsh prison in the UK, where conditions are brutal, where he has been treated so harshly, up to 23 hours a day in his cell. And why is the U.S. government doing this? Why is the U.S. government coming after a Julian Assange the way they are on an arcane 1917 Espionage Act, not just to get to Julian Assange? The message is not just to Julian Assange. The message is to you and me and any journalist and any citizen who dares to ask, what are you guys doing?
My organization, Defending Rights of Dissent, cares very strongly about the right to free expression, the right to a free press, and that's why we have consistently opposed the use of the Espionage Act.
This is a perfect moment. It's a perfect moment for Biden to walk this back. A perfect moment for them to let this die. A perfect moment to let Julian Assange go free. Thank you for being here today and helping us.
Authoritarian states around the world are confronted by this new administration, by the State Department, over human rights or press freedoms. The standard response is now becoming, what about Julian Assange?
Whether you are Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Independent, Green Party, Socialist, Capitalist, what have you, having the ability to share and expose accurate information, having the ability to hold people accountable for crimes against humanity, let alone general crimes, those are very basic core principles.
Each day that Julian Assange is sitting in Belmarsh prison, and each day that the United States, this country, continues to prosecute this case, is another day that the United States betrays its own Constitution. How can we allow this? Does this make any sense?
If we can't read a newspaper, if we can't find out what's going on in the world, and from sources like Julian and WikiLeaks, we're doomed.
Julian Assange, who he is, and why his case is important to people who defend press freedom, who defend freedom of speech, who defend whistleblowing and finding out the crimes not only of the United States government, but governments around the world.
When we're thinking about putting someone in prison for a long time for doing journalism practices, that is a new marker. That is a bad sign.
This is a huge issue, and the only way we're going to get any movement is by people continuing to call members of Congress, senators, or representatives, let them know that you actually do pay attention to the stages of this case, that you do want freedom for Julian Assange, that you do believe that the charges need to be dropped, and that you recognize that this Espionage Act has to be reformed, if not totally abolished and thrown out.
There's only one road to freedom, just one. Information, knowledge, brings freedom. That's the only road there is.
Free Julian Assange!